All right, family. So this is going to be part 2 of the video that I uploaded yesterday going over Cruzon's post. Shout out to Cruzon. And I just want to say thank you guys for the support on the last video. Honestly, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to upload it because I didn't want the community or my people to feel like I was coming at the game or, being negative in a really, really critical moment. So I'm glad it actually did end up getting the support. So thank you guys very, very much. I'm actually gonna put my camera on for this one because I think that you guys would enjoy it more. I didn't put any music in the background, so let me know. And if you can see the background, yes, I did change again. So I am back where I originally started in my attic. So all right, anyway, so we're gonna go over this again. I went over these in the last video. You guys can check it out. But basically, what's going on is there's a lot of, I guess, issues with Netmarble right now, and unfortunately, it's due to their own negligence, if that makes sense. So because they didn't really do what they needed to do on their end, as far as a lot of people have been going over rates, but for me personally, it's more so of the fact that they kind of neglected the community in a sense, or so from what I'm hearing and seeing around. I'm not going to say like, I've been in the game, for a long time because I've been out for 3 years. So I didn't know some of these underlying issues. Some of the issues have been here since the start of the game, but others, there's more underlying issues. So I didn't realize that. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's just start with 11 here. So he says you release holy relics every once in a while, and then some of the holy relics don't even work with some of the characters. This is something that I brought up in some of my videos as well. Namely, Chandler is the one that comes straight to mind because of the new Chandler they made. And unfortunately, his holy relic is exactly what Cruzon is saying, where it works with Chandler as long as a Chandler, like a base Chandler or mage Chandler, as long as they have a stance in their kit, it's gonna work, right? It's gonna work. So I apologize for the light. It's terrible, right? It's horrible. Maybe the camera isn't the way to go, I guess. Sorry, but yeah, his staff works very well when you have a stance inside of the kit. But what does this new Chandler not have? He doesn't have a stance. So they have this holy relic, which is pretty much gonna be you can't, like, you literally can't use it. So his holy relic isn't even really a factor in his kit. So yeah, I can see where he's getting, like, where he's coming from with that point, because I've actually made that point myself, where a couple of the characters, why do they not have access to their holy relic? It's weird. It's very, very weird. I get that they want to keep like I don't know, the spirit of the unit, right? So when they have a holy relic, they should always build the next character around that holy relic. That is what they themselves came up with as a system. That wasn't the community. That wasn't us. That was Netmarble. They came up with the holy relic system. So yeah, them not making brand new holy relics, or at least a holy relic that is an alternate version that works without stance skills, like, that's something they really need to work on, is getting some of these characters that can't use a holy relic. They do need to start working on getting them some type of some type of holy relic in there, whether holy relics get easy A's, if we're using Dokkan language, whether they get easy A's or some type of awakening, that's up in the air. But they definitely have to do something. All right, so then he says we can't prove it, but we believe people who spend money on the regular, are targeted to have to go multiple rotations, when a newer player or someone who doesn't spend is able to get multiple copies within 1 or 2 rotations. This one's a pretty big one. I don't really want to get into it. If I can't prove something, or if I'm ignorant on a topic, I usually try and stay as far away from that topic as possible, or at the very least neutral. So I will say, if there's no evidence of this, I'm not going to really highlight it. But if someone can give me like proof, or something's going on with the rate, because that is a very serious you know I don't want to call it an accusation because it's not, but that is a very, very serious point to make here. I don't think that they're doing this, but I could be wrong. I could. Okay, so 13, there are way too many collaborations for them not to be able to be used within a month of the event ending. Collaborations don't feel special. So I can understand this. I will say the Raise Zero units like Amelia, LR Beatrice, and Subaru, Priscilla, I feel like you still can get a very good amount of use out of these characters. Like, actually, Priscilla's super good. She's used in every piece of content. LR Beatrice and Subaru are really, really good, provided that you have a fairy and a human on the team and no other race, and they could be very, very strong as well. And then Amelia is a very, very good addition to the fairy team and is very, very strong in knighthood boss battle too. So I think you can really make a case that these might be the outlier, because even when did they come out? Does it say? Did they update it to say the release date? All right. Oh, yes, it does. Okay, nice. Okay. So they came out. Wow, that's crazy. They came out in April. Damn, that's such a long time ago. In April. So for a unit that came out 3 months ago, over 3 months ago now, I think that they still are pretty relevant, even for being collabs. So I can't speak on anything before that, but I will say I definitely think that maybe the Raise Zero collab units are the outlier. Excuse me, the outlier. And then you also have the Gachiakuta collab units. Now this not being useful, unfortunately, is a byproduct of every single character, by the way. They all have to be at the very least 3 out of 6. That is just a byproduct of every character needing to be duped, that they're not good. If these characters didn't have to be duped so heavily, or maybe just one of them had to be duped heavily, like 4 out of 6 or whatever, I don't actually think they wouldn't be that what I want to say, what's the right word? I don't know what the word I want to use is, but they would still, because they're still usable. I'm not going to say they're not usable, because that's just wrong, but it would feel better, I guess, right? And you could get more usage out of them. They wouldn't probably age as fast, depending on the meta and everything like that. I don't know. It's a very weird type of thing they did, and kind of I'm gonna be real, unnecessary that they did it. So it is what it is. But yeah, I agree. Definitely does feel like they drop collaborations a lot. There needs to be more team options. Locking characters to a team through characteristics or race limits their use. So I'm going to be completely honest. I don't actually have an issue with this. I don't have an issue with this at all, due to the fact that it does seem like they do put effort into these characteristics and race. It's not like they drop one unit and then it's, well, from what I've seen, I can't speak in the past, but from what I've seen, from what I've been playing, right, seems like they do a pretty good job at giving units to specific races and characteristics. Now, are there units that might unfortunately have not been given enough love through their characteristics or their race limits? Yes, that is absolutely possible, right? But from when I've started playing, which is basically right here, from where, so April, right? Or maybe a little before the Raise Zero collab units came out, they've done a pretty good job at the race, the race and the characteristics. So I'm not going to bash them too heavily on this one. I do think that maybe sometimes they can release units that aren't locked to characteristics or race limits, because if they release, let's say they release I don't know, they release a Bond and a Lane, that they're gonna have characteristics you need to have a fairy or a human. But let's say they release Demon King Zeldris and he's a free use character, like maybe he gets something from having a demon race member, right? But let's say other than that, he can be used everywhere. It would make him feel special, to make him feel more usable. So I don't have an issue with locking characters to a specific characteristic or race. I don't actually have an issue with that. In fact, I actually really kind of like it a little bit because again, PvP is a huge factor in this game. If they were, let's say you could use Nemesis melee with, you know, some of the more broken characters like LR Beatrice and Subaru, who gives you a second life mechanic. And then you have Engine, right? You know, who's maybe really strong, or another tank type unit like Rudo, who didn't have to be restricted to humans or, you know, whatever. It would be pretty crazy. It would be fun, but it would also be very crazy. And I think people would complain either way. I don't think there's going to really be anyone who's going to be happy 100%, unfortunately. So I don't have an issue with them doing the characteristics or race limits, but I can understand how it could be more fun and interesting if they had a unit that they didn't lock their mechanics to a specific characteristic or race, right? Could see it. If you're going to make a PvE unit that is specifically for a game mode like Demonic Beast, for example, there is no reason that it needs to be a 600 unit. That unit could be a 242 unit. Ooh, I like that. Okay, I really like this point right here. Cruzon kind of cooking right here. Okay, he's cooking through the whole thing, but this is really good, actually. I never really thought about this. I actually really like that idea. Now that I'm thinking about it, I actually really do like that idea. So basically he's saying if there is a unit that is tailor-made for a specific PvE mode, that unit should only be 242. That's a good idea. So that would mean this Thonar would have been a 242, you know, going by Cruzon here instead of a 600. Oh, I really like that idea. That is a smart and effective way to get people to summon on some of these characters. Yeah, that's really good. Because unfortunately, our girl Thonar, she is a 600, well, she was a 600 gem banner. I don't know. I always thought that was kind of stupid because her only use is legit Demonic Beast battle. So in this case, if she was just a 242 unit, I mean, everyone would probably be summoning on her because it's not a 600 gem banner. I really like that. So Thonar, that would be a good idea for Thonar. You know, you can still keep your Chandler at 242, but any unit that is specifically made for a mode, let's say which one of these units, I don't know the kits of some of these units, so I apologize, but let's say, I don't know, a unit that just is really good. Tyr, right? Tyr, he's a good example of this. So Tyr, so his only activates, right? Oh, he can only use it in Demonic Beast battle, or he can use it in PvP too, I guess. Because that's how you can use it in both. Okay, so maybe he's not. You guys get the you get the idea though. You get the idea. Anyone who's specifically made for a certain mode, you know, having them actually, wow, Chandler's that. I thought Chandler was gonna be a little further, like this Green Demon Chandler. I thought he was gonna be a little further down. I don't know why, because I stopped playing around. This is around the time I stopped playing, right? So right here where Zeldris is, literally, I think Zeldris was the last video I made before I took a break. And then I think I did get Chandler somehow. I got some of these units somehow. I don't know how, but I did. But anyway, well, no, because I do remember Purgatory Melio. Did I just not make videos or something? I don't know. Either way, you guys get the point. You guys get the point. So if there's going to be a character who's good for, I don't know, let's say Demon King battle only, then that unit could be a 242. Yeah, I like that idea. Netmarble, take notes. Listen, this is a good one. I feel like Netmarble cared more many years ago. When they messed up, they would send out 300 gems or give 150 to 300 gems for the holidays or just because. So I can't actually remember. so I apologize, but I do remember them being a little bit more, you know, giving when the game first started. And then I don't really know when that all stopped, whether it was after I took a break or before. But yeah, they did used to send out a lot of gems. Obviously, the market has changed, and that's something I do take into consideration too. With the market changing, I know Netmarble needs the money. I know all these companies need the money, but the fact is, your biggest fan base, and I shouldn't say fan base, but your biggest, I guess, audience are free to play. So that is just what it is. Your biggest audience is free to play. Your wealthiest audience, of course, are your whales, but they are a minority compared to the free to play and or light spenders. So yeah, definitely think Netmarble needs to go back to their roots. They are killing their own game by being extremely unfair to the community as a whole. Yes, people complain, but even when your top 100 players on global are starting to make a fuss, you know something is wrong. I agree completely. So I was actually wrong about this year being Grand Cross's best year, because I have mentioned that a couple of times. It does seem like, based on other people and them playing longer than me, them being more experienced, it does seem like this year, maybe in terms of, I don't know, content or character power, they've been the best they've been. But I guess as far as maybe the community and, just these subtle but very big changes that they do, it does feel bad. Like the freebies, instead of just giving out the tickets through login or having events to give out the freebies. I don't know who in Netmarble thought, hey, let's lock the tickets behind actually summoning instead of giving out 20 tickets to our players. Whoever thought of that decision, they got to be cut from the team. They got to be let go now, effective immediately, because that right there is a terrible change. So hopefully, if we make enough noise, they'll listen. I think they will. However, it depends on how they execute, the compensation or, the fixes to their game. It depends on how they actually execute and go about it. But we'll see. Doing demons is becoming tedious because it's hard to find people to play with. I also think they should increase the demon level to make it more challenging or increase the drops. So it's funny because I'm probably gonna make another video on this going more in depth, but the demon raid system, I made a video and I do believe the demon raid system can be fixed and it can be improved and good. When the game first dropped, the demon system was so fun. Like, it was so fun. And I understand that characters now, they have, like 1/1000th times the power that a character when it first came out did. So I understand that it's not going to be easy to balance some of this. However, I think that if you just make the mode a little bit more difficult, don't go too gimmicky. You don't have to make it gimmicky, but if you add another like ultimate mode or something, or ultimate difficulty to the demon raids, people would really enjoy that. Increase the drops. Please, dear God, just make the drop rates in the 50s to 100s. Please, dear God, don't do 1 to 11. Like, make the drop rates really good. Make the rewards enticing. Make the cosmetic drops really good. Come on, like, I feel like it's so easy to make it good. Like, it's so easy. But yes, I do have issues finding people to play. I don't even know if honestly, I don't even know if my notifications work or if it's just that people legit don't invite anymore. I don't know. I have to figure that out, but it might be that my account was not in use for so long that maybe the notifications are broken. I don't know. I have to figure that out. But yes, I do agree with this point for sure. They need to revamp the demon raid, demon mats, all of it. Why is Guild Boss the only way that I can qualify for Guild Wars? So I am not a Guild Wars person, so I'm not going to speak on this. I hope that they fix whatever's going on with guilds and, that kind of stuff. But personally do not play Guild Wars, and I don't care about Guild Wars, but hopefully they fix it for the people that do care, because that is also important too. Just because I don't play it or I don't enjoy it doesn't mean I don't want it to get updates and improve. I want the game to do better as a whole. So go ahead and fix that, Netmarble, please. Please. There is no real shakeup in the Guild Wars. Okay, so yeah, again, I don't really play Guild Wars, but maybe they can introduce some different modes, restrictions, lock characters, lock rarities, you know, reduce the power of certain character. I feel like there's a lot Netmarble can do. They just don't want to do it. I swear to God. Oslo coins are locked behind a paywall. So yeah, unfortunately, Oslo coins, really good, by the way, currency for people that need extra materials and maybe don't have the means to you know, grind specific things or whatever. But again, it is locked behind a paywall. If there was just a free version of the Oslo coins, that would be crazy. That would be crazy, because there is a lot of good stuff there. So having it locked behind a paywall doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel great. It feels, unfortunately, it does feel really scummy. And I have noticed, just from me playing again, I have noticed Netmarble, the changes they made to the shop, I'm very disappointed in Netmarble. Again, I understand the market changes, inflation, you need to compensate losses. I understand it's a business at the end of the day. However, I feel like they are, I mean, I guess it's not that I feel, they are more greedy than they've ever been when it comes to purchasing items and buying stuff. Even the web store is not that great. Like, yeah, you definitely get discounts, right? But I feel like there's not a real incentive to buy from the web store. So yeah, I don't know. Just something they should figure out. I have to spend diamonds to get one Oslo coin. Oh yeah. I guess you can get Oslo coins through buying it via the coin shop. But why would you do that when you have to spend diamonds? There's no reason to. Just genuinely, it's a good, like, honest to God, it is a good coins shop system. It's the fact they locked it behind having to pay. Again, you can spend diamonds, but no one in their right mind is going to do that. So it just sucks. It just sucks, unfortunately. But yeah, they definitely need to fix that for sure. We need more co-op events or battles like what they did for Attack on Titan. So I don't know if it's the same event, but I do remember when Attack on Titan, the first time around, they had an event. It was kind of like a world boss, and it was really fun because you got to fight the Titan, but the health bar, I believe, was shared. So it was like a progress bar, if I'm remembering correctly. But it was fun because it was different than the demon raids. It was just very all in all fun. When it came back the second time, I wasn't here for that. So I don't know if there was an event. Let me know in the comments if there was an event or something. I might have missed it, right? You know, I haven't been locked in or tuned in to Grand Cross basically since I quit. All right. So yeah, I could be missing that event, but if it's the very, very first event where you fight the Colossal Titan, I really did like that. I did. Even the Beetlejuice event, I know they kind of messed it up by having you not needing the characters, but they just kind of made it more unfun. But Beetlejuice, even that's a little different because it's not a demon. It's a different boss. It's a different boss you have to face with people. But again, the invitation system is terrible because people can just beat it so they don't invite it. Yeah. You see how these problems kind of circle back around to one another at some point. It's like if you just fix one issue, you can start to fix the other ones, right? But yeah, very, very much needed. We need more co-op. I am pleading for Netmarble this year or the next year to add co-op events or a permanent co-op mode, please. But usually when they add a mode, it brings in another type of progression system. So I don't even know if I want any more modes because typically, yeah, it brings in some type of progression. I don't want no more progression systems, Netmarble. I don't want any more. I don't want a purple awakening coin. I don't want an ultimate awakening system. I don't want a super LR rarity. I don't want a holy relic system that upgrades the holy relics, but I have to beat this event that's impossible to beat. I just want fun modes that we can play together as a community, and it's not impossible to beat. It's actually fun to do. That's all I want, right? That's all I want. Narabasa and Grey Road win. So Grey Road, I'm not sure what's going on with this guy. I don't know what the hell is like. At this point, chat, no memes. I'm just going to consider Grey Road to never come out. I don't think he's ever being released. I think Grey Road is officially dead. Like, I do not think he's coming out. I don't know what's up with them and why. It's been 7 effing years since this game released. Not one Grey Road. Not one Grey Road, but we have multiple copies, or not copies, but variants of OCs in the game. Okay. Narabasa, funny enough, she actually has a really good chance of coming out now with this cross if / we did get leaks that potentially Denzel might get an LR, so I don't know if she'll be included in that somehow, some way. Narabasa looking like she could actually be a possibility, like for real, actually. Grey Road, I think he's just dead. I just think he's dead. What about Monspeed or Derriere Indra forms? So I just think those are dead. I think so. It's so crazy too. They could easily make a Indra, Derriere, and Monspeed with the unique function that they have in the game. If you just, I'm telling, all you gotta do is log in, Netmarble. If you make a new Monspeed, just give him a unique and he transforms into Indra. Or better yet, make it turn restricted. I don't care. It's literally just a form of them, right? I don't understand why they don't have them in the game. Again, I'm just going to assume they're never coming to the game. I'm sorry. I'm done with the cope. I think Grey Road, Monspeed, and Derriere Indra form, I think that they're just dead. Giant Frauderin, I think he's dead. I think Giant Frauderin is never coming to the game. I don't know why. I don't understand. By this time, we should have had all of these units mentioned. Forget Ben Benedict. They should have been like year 2 or something. Some of these units. So I don't know. I don't get it. Movie characters, dead. Why do we have 4 Alettes? Yeah, why do we have 4 Alettes, Netmarble? Please tell me why we have. First off, why do we have so many Okay, let's see this. So we have our boy Chandler, right? So we have Chandler. Let me just type in his whole name so we can see him. We have 4 Chandlers. 3 of the Chandlers are the same exact version of the character. The same exact version of the character. Gowther. Do we even want to get into Gowther, right? What? Why do we have 7 Gowthers? We have 7 Gowthers in the game. 3 of the Gowthers are the same effing Gowther. So how do we only have 3 Derrieres? How do we only have 2 Monspeeds? Why do we only have 2 Gallons? You want to keep going? Do you want to keep going? You see what I'm saying? Some of these units only have. Why is there only 2? Well, I guess technically, well, no, there's only 2 versions of Gilthunder, right? There's 4 of him in total, but there's only 2 versions of Gilthunder, and every single version is ass. Then you have Hauser. Again, LR Hauser might be good for farming, but the rest of these Hausers suck, right? It's just Greyamore. I heard that this Greyamore was actually really good before until they nerfed him. I can't remember if I was there for that. I think I might have been, but I can't remember. But yeah, it sucks. So, Netmarble, why, for the life of me, do we have 3 Alettes? Why do we have three, is it two or three Thonars? It's three Thonars, right? Why? It's crazy. So crazy. What about Wheelchair Gowther? Yeah, what about Wheelchair Gowther? Right? Is he ever coming to the game? I assume not. Supreme Deity? The Supreme Deity, no, she's never coming. Actually, like I'm not even joking. Supreme Deity is legitimately, she's never coming to the game. Her model is way too big. It's just way too big. They could not add her. Yes, you could minimize the model to make it fit. I don't think they're gonna do it. I don't think so. It is possible, but listen, I highly doubt it. But we'll see. We'll see. There's a long list of characters that we could have or have had that haven't been passed over. I think basically what he's saying is there's a long list of units that either could have been in the game or that they just basically ignored their existence, which is true. There's so many different characters that we can have. There's Rao, remember Rao from Gahard's backstory, right? That human guy, even though he's not important at all. Zhivago, Bond's adoptive dad, you could have easily threw him in the game, right? Right? All the 6 Knights of Black from Bellion's crew, easily could throw them in there, right? Easily could throw them in there. There's no reason why you couldn't add them in. No reason at all. So yeah, just very weird. I don't understand. Netmarble for Grand Cross, they released the units in such a weird order that I just honestly I don't get it. I don't. When are we going to get some updated commandment units or grace units? At this point, the only grace unit that's worth anything is Red Tarmio, and he can be used only be used as a link. The commandment units are so outdated. Yup, absolutely. 100%. So let's look at no, not God. Where they at? 4 archangels. So we look at the 4 archangels, right? Basically all we have for graces is legitimately Red Tarmio. Now you use Mael and you do use I think you use this Sario, but some people have been using this Sario's grace too. You can use them still as links. Like, I don't want to get that messed up. It's just, unfortunately, I think that there's other links that are better now because you have the unity with LR Roxy. You have some with the Ragnarok characters. So the grace mechanic that they had, it's not really that special anymore, unfortunately. Like, our boys, they're just not that special. Like, they're not. Again, Tarmio's very unique in the fact that he heals you whenever you get hit by a certain percentage, which is really good. Mael's is still very strong, but even Sario, Red Sario, even his grace is it's still going to be good for characters that need to do damage, but you don't even really need it anymore, right? I mean, it's nice to have the extra attack power always, but at some point, his stats are gonna drag you down. Same thing with Mael, same thing with this Sario, same thing with this Ludociel. The LR Ludociel has a little bit of more of advantage over every one of these guys in stats because she's an LR. So, but the moment that they LR this unit and this unit, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be absolutely crazy because remember, their grace. This grace right here, he does heal you at the start of your turn by 150% of your defense. So if you put this unit on an LR, they're going to heal a lot of HP, but no one's ever going to use it. Now, it doesn't even matter if he gets an LR. No one's ever going to use them because why would I ever run an inferior version of the Tarmio link? Why would I ever run that? You see what I'm saying? So yeah. Very strange. Very, very strange. All right. Oh, and the commandments. He did talk about the commandments. The commandments I've already talked about a lot, but I don't know what they're thinking with this, this characteristic, this group. I don't know. Couldn't even tell you. Some of these units get an LR makes sense, but then we get units like Hawk or New Year's Elizabeth. I think we all expected Purgatory Bond to be an LR. Instead, we got Taizo and Hawk. definitely understand the frustration. Definitely get it. So I don't understand why they dropped Hawk. I mean, as a goofy little character, is it Oz low in Hawk? Okay, I don't understand why they're not coming up, but let me just do unknown. Get you out of here, and then let's see what comes up. Okay, sorry guys. The website's good, but it does have its you know, its kinks and everything like that. So unknown, and then they should be here, right? Hawk. Is that the one that goes? I mean, it has to be, right? Or is it the Green Hawk? It was the Green Hawk. Okay. So Captain Hawk. Captain Hawk. Not just Hawk. Okay. So yeah, I don't understand why he got a... I don't know. I don't know why he got an LR. I couldn't tell you. I don't understand, because even when he came out as an LR, right, I knew he was gonna be terrible. Like, just, it's Hawk. Like, it's Hawk. I knew he was gonna be terrible. I don't get it. I don't mind New Year's Elizabeth, but I can see it being confusing and being like, why did New Year's Elizabeth get a car, like an LR, before some of the more popular characters? And the reason the only reason I could really say is maybe she was used just to help the Goddess team, right? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But yeah, we definitely do need really good LRs. Purgatory Bond, the one Escanor, who's another really hype one that people will be crazed for. Captain Meliodas, the counter melee, right? What about him? How does he not have an LR? Like, again, what is the release schedule for LR? Like, is it just a random release schedule? Or is it going by a specific order? Like, what is the release schedule for LRs? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Do not give PvP units PvE holy relics. Like Mikasa or Trader Melly. If that's the case, then give the relics a PvE and PvP passive. Okay. Okay. So this right here, I'm kind of half and half. I haven't really put too much thought into it. I know what he means, right? I just haven't really put too much thought in it. Maybe because I don't enjoy PvP. I shouldn't say enjoy it, but maybe because I'm not like a PvP connoisseur that I'm like to it. That's probably what it is. Trader Melly is actually a really good example of this. So Trader Melly, his holy relic only works in PvE. Now, do I really mind it? Where is his holy relic not shown on here? Oh, this is that's Purgatory Melly. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm messing up. All right. Trader Meliodas. So our boy Trader Meliodas, he only works in PvE for his holy relic. So his holy relic in PvE increases his attack related stats whenever an ally uses a single target skill, and then he removes one debuff from each ally when he uses an AoE. So again, I don't have an issue with this per se. I can understand why you wouldn't want this though, right? Because why would you want a PvE holy relic when his passive skill works everywhere? I understand what he's saying, right? It'd almost be like if it was the reverse. If his passive skill only worked in PvE, why would I want a holy relic that works in PvP, right? You get what I'm saying? It kind of works like that. So he's basically, he can be used everywhere, right? But his holy relic restricts him to only PvE. Now, again, you can use him in PvP, but you won't have his holy relic, which then he becomes, again, he's already obsolete, but then it becomes like, well, then why am I even running the unit in the first place? I get it. I definitely get it. I'm not like I don't have a huge issue unless it starts getting to the point where your passive skill you know, they start breaking it up to where it's like, so this part of your passive skill only works in PvP, this part of your passive skill works in PvE, then your Holy Relic, it only works in PvP, but then this part of your Holy Relic works in I don't want that. That is when I'm like, I'm done, right? You have too much stuff going on for PvE and PvP. That's when I'm done. But again, I understand why you wouldn't want this. Just how about we just make Holy Relics work everywhere if the passive skill works everywhere? That's a crazy thought. That's a crazy thought. But hear me out, Netmarble. Let's just make it the same as the passive and it works everywhere. So I understand the frustration, right? I do. I get the frustration with that. Because if you are a PvP connoisseur, you really love PvP, this feels like shit. Like, just straight up. Like, this feels like shit if you're a PvP player, primarily, because it's like, I already can beat all the content. Why am I using him only in PvE when you can already beat all the content? I understand it. And then also, yeah, his Holy Relic, you need the wrap materials in order to craft it. At that point, I should be able to pretty much clear most, maybe besides Demon King and Supreme Deity, I should pretty much be able to clear every single piece of PvE content. So why is he being restricted to PvE content? It makes no sense. It just makes no sense. Just does not make no sense. But I can understand why the frustration is there. For sure. I think Netmarble forgot we boycotted them until they addressed their mess ups. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. I know what he's talking about. So if we actually, let me go to YouTube real quick, because you guys already know what I'm about to type in. So if we go to Grand Cross, right, and we type in Assault Meliodas boycott, it should come up pretty much right away. If you guys were not here 5 years ago, wow, it was such a crazy time because I don't even really remember what happened. I genuinely don't even remember what happened. So it was just a crazy moment in history. Like, look at this. Like, so many people were upset. So many people were just not, receptive to whatever was going on with Assault Melee. But it did work. It did actually work. They did end up, I believe, delaying. Was it? They delayed Meliodas. So, they delayed Assault Melee. That's the one that mainly comes to mind because that was such a crazy experience. Like, it was like it. Like, I know I took a break from Grand Cross, so the new era of Grand Cross, I'm going to call it that, I don't have much experience with, but the old era of Grand Cross, I do have some, I was there for some of that stuff. I was in the trenches. And Assault Meliodas, it was just so crazy. It was genuinely so crazy. We reviewed bombed them. We blew up the forums. Every big YouTuber was making videos on it. We were destroying their comments on Twitter and YouTube. It was so crazy. I'm not gonna, okay, listen, it's a different age and it's a different era now, right? That was 5 years ago. So like 2020, 2021, it's not the same anymore. I don't know. I don't want to say it's not going to work, right? I just think maybe going at it from an approach of constructive criticism will be better. I think so. I think it'll be better for not only just for people who, are angry, but for the company too, because a lot of people are upset. So they're just going to say what they want to say right now. And I can see that being an issue because they might just end up banning or like blocking certain people. Because remember, if you just spam with insults or, just really harsh words, they might legitimately just block you or send you to spam, and it could cause issues. So I do want people to really know what they're getting themselves into before a boycott ensues, right? I just want people to know. I'm not saying I want you guys to boycott. I do want you all to use your voice to voice your frustrations in a respectable manner, in a respectable way. I do want you guys to get out your frustrations for sure, right? For sure. End of the year banners need to stop being oversaturated with characters because it becomes harder to pull the actual featured units, which means I have to spend more gems. Respectfully split it up between Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. So again, not I don't remember the end of the year banners, and it easily could be they changed up how they did it too before I took a break. So I don't know exactly what he means by this or really have too much knowledge. So I'm not going to speak on it, but if they, I mean, I honestly thought they did this already. Do they not do this? Is this, I thought this was for every like gacha, or mainly every gacha I've played. They do like a Halloween celebration, right? You know, you get your characters all dressed up. For Thanksgiving, it's usually some type of thank you banner or some type of celebration where, you know, it's just a genuine thank you. And then Christmas is Christmas, right? You get your snow, your winter units, your hype units, everything like that. So I thought that's how they did it, but I guess not. Okay. Guild Wars cosmetics can't even be used on any of the new characters. Again, not a Guild Wars person, just not a Guild Wars person, but I can understand why you would be upset if you can't use the costumes that you rightfully earn to get, like you rightfully earn to wear. And you can't even use it on another Meliodas. You can't even use it on another Bond. Can't even use it on Merlin and Escanor. Can't use it on King and Deanne. So I get it. I actually do understand the frustration, because if you're going into something and you are competitive and you really, really want that cosmetic, now guess what? Can't even use it. So it's pretty pointless. So that tells me that they don't really make Guild Wars cosmetics anymore. Back when I was, 18, 19, even 20, I wasn't a huge fan of them making Guild Wars cosmetics, or I should say Guild Wars but like limited cosmetics that only people who like PvP or something get. I wasn't a huge fan of it, I'll be honest. But my mindset has changed since, basically since I was a teenager. I'm almost 30 years old, which is crazy to say out loud, but I'm almost 30 years old. So my mindset has changed a lot. And I do think that if they earned this, if they played it, even if it's something that a lot of casuals aren't gonna ever get a chance to get, I think they earned that right to wear it. It's something that, it's not like they didn't put in time. Did they put in money? Of course. But guess what? They put money into something they like, and also it helps keep the game up. So not really upset by that. But anyway, I went on a tangent there. Get Netmarble. Give your community, the people that really support you, hear them out. Give them the opportunity to express their grievances and their disappointment with how the game's being handled, and fix it. That's it. Just fix it. So then he says at the end here, there are plenty more complaints and suggestions that people have shared. I also don't doubt that they will share some of their complaints and suggestions here on this post. It's going to happen next week. We're just going to start making videos on on YouTube about Netmarble, which I'm doing. So remember the community and what they're asking you before you give us something we don't want or never asked for. Change is good, but sometimes we believe you don't sit down and think. So very good post here. I like it. I think that, I'm not going to log in right now. I think that he did a very good job. So shout outs to Cruzon, shout outs to Gon for even putting us onto this post, really, and making it explode. Shout outs to all of the content creators that are doing their part and, sharing this, making videos on it. So that way Netmarble can actually see what's going on in their community and how they can mend and fix some of the stuff that is going on. So very, very, thankful for Cruzon for making this, because this post was the gateway. Like it was the gateway. So we'll see what ends up happening from this. Netmarble, I think Grand Cross is a good game. Let me say this actually, right? I think I think Grand Cross I think Grand Cross is actually a very good game. I think it's a fun game. I think that the base of the game is actually super strong. I think that they have a very good foundation of a system, gameplay system that is simple and it works. I think that Grand Cross is one of those rare games that you take a dumb idea and it becomes gold. Same thing with Dokkan Battle. Everyone thought, when people will try and rewrite history, but I remember specifically when the game came out, people were not a huge fan of the bubble popping aspect. They would have told you this game is not gonna live. However, here we are almost 12 years into Dokkan's life, and it's still as big, even bigger than it was before. And the same thing with Grand Cross. It's such a simple game, but it works. It works. It's the fact Netmarble is being, again, they're being a little negligent in how they're handling some of these, some of these problems, some of these issues, because I know they know. I know Netmarble knows. I know they know, right? They are in with the community. They know certain people of the community, so they know. It's just a matter of really not caring. That's what it is. When you boil it down, it's a matter of them not caring enough to fix these problems over time. This is a $1 million company, right? A multi-million-dollar company. They have time, resources, the team, etc. to fix these issues. And whether it's because they're stretching their team thin between Grand Cross, Origins, and any games in between, I don't know. I can't tell you, right? What I can tell you is if we raise our voice enough, there will be change. Will it be immediate? Probably not. However, over time, there will be change. So I implore everybody to use whatever power you have. Let Netmarble know we aren't taking this BS. We want change. We want it now. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up, guys. I've been recording for legit 51 minutes. I did make a post saying that the next, the part 2 for that video is going to be potentially an hour long. And I'm basically 8 to 9 minutes away from that happening. So if you made it this far, I'm very shocked and surprised, and also very thankful that you made it this far. So go ahead and drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Of course, you guys already know how it is. I love you all. Let's hope Netmarble listens to us. Shout outs to Cruzon. Shout outs to Gone. Again, you guys are awesome. Cruzon, what an amazing post you made, man. I agree with all the points pretty much here. Yeah, so thank you for making this post. This will be Dev signing out. I love you all. Have a beautiful and blessed rest of your day.